Namaste everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be focusing on our lower backs and especially back pain relief, because so many of us who have to sit at home now and work, we can often lose our posture and it can cause problems not only for our lower back but also for our hips and our hamstrings and our upper back. So when you're ready, grab your mat and some water and let's practice. Okay, we're going to come into our seating position with our wrists on our knees. We're going to focus on our breathing, relaxing our shoulders, lowering our breath, and being in this moment. Focusing on how we feel and just being with us in this moment. Raising our arms up above the sky. Going to lean to one side, giving our ribs a nice stretch. Now placing our hand on the mat, going to deepen that stretch, breathing in as we go and breathing out. Bring our hands back up to the other side, placing our hands and deepening the stretch, going as far as we can today and coming back up. Now doing our spinal twist, place one hand on your knee, look back, breathe, coming back up, place the hand on the knee, breathe as you go. Now grabbing our arm and giving our shoulders and our triceps a nice stretch here. To the other side, breathe as you stretch. We're coming onto our hands and knees. We're going to slowly go into downward facing dog. Coming down, going further each time we go. Trying to get our heels to touch the ground. Strong hands onto the mat. Lifting our tailbone as high as we can. Now transitioning into cat and cow. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in cat. And breathe out in cow. Giving our spine a nice stretch. Now starting with our hip circulation, coming back into child's pose. And going up into cobra pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Really rotating our hips here, warming up our spine and our hips. And our shoulders. Now the other way. Pulling back. Breathing in. Take a deep breath as you go into cobra and pull as far back as you can. Keep rotating to where you are today. Coming back into downward facing dog. Here, just walk out your feet. Lifting our tailbone as high as we can, heels and hands aligned, pulling back our feet. From here, slowly transition into plank and coming into cobra. Now rolling through our feet and back into cobra. Downward facing dog. Take this at your own pace. Whatever works for you today, that's where you need to be. Rounding as we go, really breathe in, giving your spine a nice stretch. Breathing in, staying here in cobra, really open up your chest. And coming back into our downward facing dog. From here, transition into our one-legged downward facing dog. And we're going to bring our knee to our chest. So for 5, breathe in and out. Breathe in as your knee goes to your chest. Now the other leg, reaching up, really giving yourself a nice stretch. Be gentle with yourself here. And chaturanga into our cobra, pulling back into our downward facing dog again. Alright, staying in our downward facing dog, breathe. Now lifting our one leg up and coming into our high lunge into our warrior one pose. Here, breathe, placing our hand on our knee and doing another spinal twist with our other arm reaching far behind us. You can even grab your other hip here for an even deeper stretch. Come back into our warrior one and to the other side. Reaching as far back as we can. Whatever you need to do today, however far you can go, that's fine. Do this at your own pace and at your own level. Now transitioning back to the front of our mat, our hands to our chest here. Reach up to the sky. Now rolling down and touching our hands to the mat and placing our belly onto our thighs. Bend your knees here. Breathe, drop your head, don't tense your neck. Just really feel your breath lowering, stretching back up and rolling back up with our head being the last thing to unroll, reaching up and coming back down again. Going as far as we can each time. Try and touch your toes. Release your knees. Now placing our leg back, coming into another high lunge, reaching up to the sky. Breathe here. This is your moment to breathe. And going into another spinal twist. Now, if you can, place your other hand either at your hips or to your other hip. Giving a nice twist here, reaching back up and to the other side. Looking back as far as you can here. Now coming back into downward facing dog, really pressing your fingers into the mat. And coming back into our high lunge here to our warrior one. Breathe. Doing another spinal twist. Reaching back as far as we can. Make sure your shoulder is really open. Your chest is open. You're pushing your shoulder blades together. Coming back into warrior one. Other side. Breathe, reaching back or touching your hip, coming back up. Now pulling back into a plank and chaturanga. Transitioning into our downward facing dog. Breathe. Now rolling our feet, come into a plank, chaturanga again. To our cobra pose. And pulling back and placing our other foot into our high lunge and grabbing the back of our leg. Now grabbing your foot and pulling it as closest to your body as you can without injuring yourself. Be gentle here. Use your breath to get closer and closer and to release those tense muscles each time. Now from here, grabbing our big toe with our other hand, we're going to pull our foot as close as we can to our head and coming into a back bend. So be very gentle with yourself here. If this is too much, just stay right up and keep pulling your foot as close as you can to your body. Coming into our plank again, chaturanga, cobra pose into our downward facing dog, lifting our leg up and coming into another high lunge here, grabbing our leg and pulling it as close as we can to our body without injuring yourself. So really breathe here. Focus more on opening your chest than pulling your leg. Breathe through the stings that your quads may be bringing you, and if you can, grab your big toe and pull it as close as you can to your head. Remember, this is a very advanced pose and should be done with care. coming back to our plank pose, chaturanga, cobra, and finally pulling back into our child's pose. Here, breathe. Feel the stretches that your back and your quads have been doing. Just let everything go. Imagine there's water or sand on your back. Now coming onto our back and going into our supine position. And here, imagine there's water or sand all over your body, pressing you down deep into the ground, bringing both legs to the side with our hands and palms facing the sky to show our vulnerability and looking the other way. Go as far as you can. Breathe. This is your moment. Switching to the other side. Breathe. Coming back into supine, reach above your head and coming to one side and coming back into a comfortable sitting pose. Thank you so much for watching this video and practicing with me. I hope your back feels better now. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for new videos every single week. See you soon again on the mat. Namaste.